Well, good evening, Truck and Tractor Pool fans. We're back once again, and we have some information from this past weekend from Two Top, Pennsylvania, or Mercersburg, Pennsylvania, I guess it would be, and the Lincoln Speedway at Abbottstown, Pennsylvania. And with us, as always, Kendra Barnhart. How are you? Uh-oh, I can't hear you.
How about now?
There we go. There she is.
Sorry about that. I forgot I muted myself.
You have me looking like, okay, what's wrong now?
No, sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. As long as it isn't on my end, I'm happy. That's okay. Because there's so much crap to look at here. So, but anyway, interesting weekend of pulling, I would say. We had our first time pull for East Coast. Actually, I'm thinking for any pulling club at Lincoln Speedway. Of course, it was a brand new track, and with that comes some interesting issues. But we look forward to going back there in October. We had a fantastic crowd, man, for a standalone. Originally, they were going to race and pull that night, but the racing did get canceled, and it was just a standalone pull. And wow, what a fantastic first-time crowd! We were very, very impressed with that. So. But you have some information to talk about at Two Top, so we'll just cut you loose and let you have at it.
I do. Let me get my results back up here. I didn't print them out like I told you earlier, still on the cell phone.
What is wrong with you? You're slipping.
I know. Too busy actually working. What the heck's up with that?
What's that?
I know. Like a real full-time job? What? No, Two Top, we had an excellent crowd there as well. They were kind of afraid to do too much advertising, but still had a heck of a crowd there. I wouldn't say it was their typical crowd, but it was at least 75 to 80%, and I think everybody there was super happy. Track was excellent, as always. Didn't hear too much complaining. It was probably one of the first local pools. We had Hammond's Grove, but that's on the other side of the valley there. Normally there's a lot of pulling here in the Chambersburg area, and this was the first real one that people look forward to year to year. So it was nice to see everybody out. We had about 70 hooks there that night. Yeah, good. It was a really nice turnout. We'll start with the Hot Farm class. There was only 2 of them that made the trip up, Donnie Gokenauer and Marshall Beidel. Donnie went 3:07.98 for the win, and Marshall had a couple hiccups with his tractor, and he only went 82 feet. He did make a test pass. Yeah. He did make a test pass later in the evening, and it looked like he was starting to get things figured out. So hopefully this week at Mont Alto, he'll have everything running back to where it was.
Great, good.
Yep. Then we will skip over to the Pro Farm class. 5 tractors came out in this one. Looks like the win went to Jeff Breininger. See him up at Snyder County a good bit with Red Ball. Then was Donnie Gokenauer on Double Trouble. He brought both of his tractors up. Then was Bradley Seal. He's from down in Virginia. Good to see him coming up. And then Ivan Hessong, local boy. He was 4th place. And then Mitch Lazier, he drives a John Deere. We haven't seen him out in...
Wow, yeah, it's been a couple of years.
Yeah, it's probably been 2 or 3 years. So it's good to see them. Good. I know they're a family, and I think 2 of the boys just recently got married, so I'm sure that had something to do with the absence in the pulling, but glad to see them back.
Yeah, that's great.
Then the small block trucks came out. There was a real good showing of them. I'd say 10 of them, it looks like. I don't know if you've seen this, but the Stoner family has a 3rd truck out now. Yep. So now Dad and both boys have a truck, which is nice.
Which was Denny's brother's old truck.
Yeah, it was Denny's brother's old truck.
Yes.
Jared posted a big story about it on Facebook. If I remember right, did the truck go to Ohio or Kentucky or?
I think it kind of went different ways. I can't remember exactly, but I thought the body was bought from Ohio.
Yeah.
I think, and I don't know if it had a chassis with it or they had a different chassis. I don't remember, but I know some part of the truck did come from Ohio. That was Keith's originally. Yeah.
Yeah, so real cool to see that coming back to the family. He definitely still has some bugs to work out, but he's a stoner, so I'm sure he'll have it figured out here real soon. They know their trucks pretty well.
I actually thought it run pretty decent at Hammond's Grove. That was the first time he was out with it, I believe. A few weeks back, and I thought it ran pretty decent.
But I think he went back and did some wrenching.
Oh, of course.
That's always a dangerous thing on a new vehicle.
Yeah.
But Denny and Austin took first and second. Looks like less than a foot apart, 279.49 and 278.94.
But who took the win?
Denny.
Oh,
Denny
Pop's
on
got
making
the
tracks.
Very good.
And then, yep.
That's great.
And then looks like Ryan Varner with the Mountain Maniac took third. He was real close to only 276. Then Travis Utze and Sam Hassler were both at 274. Chris Utze on One Bad Bow Tie at 272. Then Derek Dice with Mopar Magic was 7th. And then Jared with his Ford Ranger, doesn't look like it has a name yet, was at 269. So he really wasn't that far back, only 10 feet. So not too far out of the top spots there. And then 9th was Denny Shives on alcohol abuse, and Jason Negley on bootlegger brought up the rear.
Jason Negley.
I think he is a mechanic / driver for that family, if I remember right.
Just the Negley, the Negley name. Okay.
Yeah.
Rings a bell with me. Okay.
And then the modified class. Yeah, here we go. Modified class. Shanda Blizzard actually drove again. I believe they said it was the first time she had driven in 5 or 6 years.
Oh, okay.
That's Ricky's wife and Amber's mom. Amber is expecting, so I don't believe we'll be seeing her in the driver's seat this year. But Shanda actually handled the tractor really well for not being in the seat for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, great.
She was actually 5th place. Ricky took the win at 298.88, so that family had a really good night.
Good.
2nd place was Ian Ericker with the Unstable. 3rd place was Andy Forrester on Boss 9. 4th was Tom Kennedy on Old Reliable. Don't see him out too much anymore. Then Shanda was 5th. 6th place was Nelson Egoff with the Tinker Toy. And then 7th was Brian Harnett, which is Intimidator. And then they also had another tractor from their stables called Agitator. I believe, if I remember right, they're from Western Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio.
Yep.
So it's nice to see some new blood in that class as well. And then John Foley was 9th place, and Kyle Culbertson on Sparky was 243.
Wow.
He had quite a wild ride on his modified. I believe he was one-wheeling it for a little bit and then broke off the front wheel, which is never a fun time.
No.
And then the last class that I was there for was the light limited class. And they had 14 tractors in that class. Really nice showing this year for the light limiteds. You can tell them guys want to get out and pull. Winky, or Jason Weichel, as everybody else knows him, was 1st place, 310.93 on the Unleashed. He's having a heck of a year this year.
Yes, he is.
Yep, I told him I was going to make a sticker up for him that said COVID champ. He took that well. 2nd place was Bradley Wassler on Whistling Red at 307. 3rd place was Smokey on Fast Forward at 306.58. 4th place was, I should know this, was Marty on his Ford 9600 at 299. 5th place was Michael Thomas, up from, I believe he's from Berryville, Virginia.
Yeah.
Stealing time at 298.
Good for him. It's good for him. I know they're still getting the bugs out of that tractor, and that's a great finish for them. Very happy for him.
Yep. He had a really nice pass too.
Good.
And he was only a half a foot behind Marty, so that's really, really good.
But
Marty's got a strong running tractor.
Yep.
6th place was Matt Dersham, also at 298 in 6th place. Seventh place was Ben Flaherty on Smokin' Red. Eighth place was Ryan Leisure on Sea and Red. Ninth was Ben Hoke on Eagle Light. 10th was Shane Scott on the New Holland TM130. 11th was Cody Anderson. 12th was Perrin Bean. And then Fred Hoke on Never Enough was 79 feet. Sounded like his tractor either jumped out of gear or definitely had some transmission or clutch issues. Hopefully they get that worked up before Mont Alto.
Hopefully, yeah.
And then Eddie Ocker pulling the Iron Maiden. They had they weren't really sure if it was a turbo issue or an intercooler. Every time they got up to like a certain RPM and boost there, something gave loose. And then Darren Olden came up with Destiny's Baby Deer Power to do a test pass. Sounded like they had either a fuel or water issue. Something was definitely fluttering there in the engine. But that rounded out the night. Actually, I lied to you. They actually had a farm stock class there that I did not stick around for, so I don't have results.
Shame on you.
We were ready to get out of there by then. But yeah, overall, a great night of pulling at Two Top. A lot of local people came out. Like I said, we had some faraway folks from Western PA coming in the modified class. So it was nice that the locals got to see people they're used to and, different tractors mixed in.
Yeah, that's great. Very good. Sound like a good time.
It was. It was a great time.
Plenty of hooks, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So how was Lincoln Speedway?
Lincoln Speedway was pretty good considering the first time. Like I say, the crowd, it was phenomenal. I was very pleased with the crowd. I had found out later on, before the show started, that actually the tickets online pre-sales were actually sold out. And I guess that left room for them to, sell tickets at the gate, considering the social distancing stuff. And they did take the time to go through there, especially down in the infield, to lay out fencing to keep groups of 250 separated, so to speak. I hope I'm not calling on them or anything, but I mean, they went above and beyond really what they needed to do. Obviously, there was nobody in the infield but us workers and pullers and stuff like that. But the crowd properly seated. But I'm telling you, they had a nice crowd. There was a lot of people there. And
well, I know in the state of Pennsylvania, speedways have definitely been under close scrutiny with all this COVID stuff. So,
well, I can assure you, I know for Lincoln Speedway, they're doing everything they need to do to keep people safe, keep people out of trouble, keep themselves out of trouble. And it's a great facility, and can't wait to go back in October. So I don't know. We're not sure what classes will be there. I will go out on the line and say at least the modifieds and probably the two-wheel drive trucks will be there in October. Beyond that, I'm not sure what classes will be there. I think it's basically going to be who had the least hooks for the season, which could be everybody really at this point. But there is some classes that have had more, like four-wheel drives. My goodness, I think they have two more still scheduled yet. So it's hard to say, but I'm pretty sure that modifieds and two-wheel drives will definitely be two of the classes there. In October. Of course, we had two-wheelers there. It was their first hook of the season. We only had 3 trucks. I mean, there's one team that's not together yet. They're working on both their trucks, the Tipton team. Steve Wilson and Crystal Wilson and the family were there with their 2 trucks. And there is a third one coming, but I thinking probably maybe not till next year you'll see that. So, and Trent Best, unfortunately, I was really hoping to see a good run out of that, but something happened. For poor Trent. I mean, the buck last year, the buck pull off in Frederick, Trent opened a lot of eyes and turned a lot of heads, but unfortunately, we got off on the wrong foot this year. So we look for better things out of him here soon. I believe they hook at Laurelton next Friday night, so we will see two-wheel drives again there. So hopefully we'll get to see a good full run for Trent. But that class actually, Crystal Wilson, the reigning champion, took the win, and Stevie was second, and obviously Trent was third. But and Crystal was 5 feet ahead of Steve. She was at 2:59.15. Stevie was it's Steve Wilson. It was 2:54.76, and Trent was just a hair under 20 feet. And we'll just leave it at that. And I know Trent's going to get it. It's, he proved to us last year. He's got it figured out, and something there. Yeah, I think next time we see it, it'll probably make a full pass. So, but our first class actually was the 8,500-pound light pro, and Ron Belknap receives the Bad Luck of the Year award, to say the least. While warming up there in the hot pit area. He was last hook of the class anyway, but he was warming up before the show started, and you just get that death tap, rattle, if you will. And sure enough, I guess you said you had heard that he dropped the valve and seized the motor up. So unfortunately for Ron's got some wrenching to do, and we feel bad for him. And it's a shame, I mean, I walked over to him right after it happened. He said, "Man, I was really looking forward to hooking here, being the first hook and everything." But he had to put it back on the trailer. So, but he did stick around and watch the pull, and we appreciate that. And we wish you the best, Ron. Get back together and come on back out, buddy. But Steve Beckley, what more can we say about Steve Beckley?
He's on a tear, man.
He's on a tear. I mean to tell you what. He come out and won the class at 2:94.07, and can't find my glasses, and I really need them boogers. But yeah, he took the win. Kevin Up was second at 2:77 even. So third was Ron Beasley. The Beasleys did come up from Carolina to run with us, and he was third at 2:70.93. Howard Meredith come out for the first time this year, he and Jamie, and they grabbed the fourth place at 2:68.11. Paul Hoke was fifth with a little fire show at the end of his run. Probably just a little fuel, I guess. Yeah. He was at 2:55.18. Tyler Wolliver was sixth with the just in case at 2:50. I'm sorry. Yeah, 2:50.85. And Kendall Beasley was seventh at 2:34.29, and had a very interesting ride if you've seen the video. He was just, as we like to say, we used to pickle Bill Grove. I got to tell the story. Bill Grove came up to Delta here one year with Donnie Landis and did an exhibition run with their two-wheel drive, the Pennsylvania Ridge Runner. Well, Kevin, prior to that, I guess actually was Frederick, because that at that particular time we were hooking later in the year, like early October after the season was done. And anyway, Kevin asked me, "So what's the track at Delta? Should I figure Frederick?" And I said, "Yeah," because back then we had a pretty loose track. And well, it was a little better than Frederick, and they didn't have enough weight on the front of the truck. Needless to say, Grovey had his hands full when he drove the truck.
Oh, and, my goodness.
His saying was, and it's kind of stuck around, his saying is, "A little light on the nose, sunshine." It's kind of been a little joke, and Kendall experienced that Saturday night at Lincoln Speedway. But and Ron Belknap obviously was eighth, who unfortunately was broke. But hopefully we can get him back out soon. So second class was our modified four-wheel drive trucks, and once again we got a guy that's just unbeatable right now, and that's Troy Nails. And he come right out. I think he was third hook in the class, I do believe, after a sled reset. And man, I really need my glasses. Y'all can laugh. Sometimes you just got to have your glasses. I just had them. I just found them. There we go. Much easier to read. Yeah, Troy was at 298.45. He won the class at 298.45. Second was Dan Savage at 292.12. Third was John Clark at 290.98. Fourth is a name we'll remember. R.B. Moeller was at 270.16 with a To the Extreme Dodge. Fifth was Michelle Abshire, starting to come along pretty good with split decision. Yeah, absolutely, at 266.12. Sixth was Will Hitchcock with the home wrecker at 265.22. Seventh was test hook Eric Mikesel at 257.80. Eighth, Todd Jarvis with the Wicked Chevy at 256.67. Kevin Abshire was ninth, 254.54. 10th was Linda Ziegler at 292.07. And Caitlin Moeller with the Moeller Farms other truck, at 2:45:05, and she's a new driver, still cutting her teeth, so not that far behind the trucks, and that she finished behind, so she'll be.
And the track did look tricky, so
I tell you,
so
it seemed to me like it. I mean, I'm not a track reader, I'm not a puller, but I've seen enough of them over the years. The track you could snap your fingers and the track changes. It didn't. It seemed like it didn't matter what side you went down, except for the middle. You stayed out of the middle, but it didn't. It didn't make a difference. It seemed like there was one pass, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about the place, but and I know that it'll get better. I mean, it's a new track. It was just put in January, so it's kind of early. You usually try to have a year's worth of just getting naturalized with everything, I guess, to make a good track. But and they'll get it. There's no doubt they'll get it, and it'll be better in October, I'm sure. Now they've learned, now that they have a show on it and know what they're working with, so we'll be okay.
And clay is tricky.
Absolutely.
It's not the same as a racetrack. It's a little bit different. So it'll just take time. Like you said, October will be better, and next year will be better yet. So
you bet. Yeah, and it's a fun place. It really, it's easy to get to. It's really not much over an hour and a half for most people to get to. It's kind of centrally located in Abbottstown, Pennsylvania, so pretty good deal. And I look forward to many more shows there, hopefully. And with the crowd that they can bring in there, even without the racing, which is what they're used to there, hey, I mean, they're on to something. So, and I'm pretty sure Jerry, guy's name is Jerry that I dealt with there, who's a promoter there. I'm sure he was happy. So I certainly would have been my first time having a pool, have that kind of crowd. It was great. And we had the 7,800-pound East Coast Diesel Pro Stock Diesel 4-wheel drive trucks. Take it easy, Kendra. I want to get through this, okay? Poor Normie. That's all I'm going to say before we get started. But John Mans was first took in the class. They reset the sled. He pretty much took it out to the grass on the first pass. They reset the sled, and these guys I really thought they would do better at a heavier weight than the modified four-wheel drive truck guys, but I was wrong. They struggled. They really, midway through the pack, those guys, they hit 200 feet, and if you didn't have a good hole shot, you're in trouble, pretty much. But everybody's got pulling the same track, and October hopefully will be a better time. But anyway, John Mans did come back at the end of the class and win the class with the Crazy X at 270.71. And Kevin Armstrong, truck we haven't seen in probably a year or so, with the out-of-control Chevy Duramax, was second at 265 even. And third was Chris Mast driving the wound-tight Dodge out of the Pro Diesel Works stable at 264.20. Fourth was Carl Ankowicz at 250 and 39. Fifth was Nathan Vey, made the trip up from Kentucky, and we appreciate that. It's always good to see Nathan and the crew come up and run with us. They were at 249 and 33. And like I say, these distances, we just, some guys struggled to get through that midsection of the track. James Barter was sixth at 247.08. Seventh was Tom Hassler with the Twisted Addiction at 230 and 46. Eighth was Norman Newswanger at 190.98. And unfortunately, finishing last was Andrew Grove, who, was another one who struggled. And unfortunately, when he spun out, the front of the truck just kicked right a little bit, enough to get over that out-of-bounds line for him. So, sucks, but it happens. And Norm, I guess you found out some information from Norm that he ended up losing a turbo on that run.
Yep. He lost a turbo that run, and hoping to get it back together for this weekend, but we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully so. I'm sure we'll see him at Lawton. I'm sure he'll be back together.
Oh yeah, he'll definitely be there till West End Fair. So
yeah. Then right after that class, we had a 6-pack of, if you will, of a nice 6-truck class, a 3.0 diesel 4-wheel drive truck class, and Greg Walker driving the Dreams Happen truck took the win at 3:02 and 49, and that hook actually came last in the class. So what we did after our Pro Stock Diesel guys ran, Troy Nails stuck around for us, run the grader a couple times to smooth the track. At this time, he peeled the top, some of that gum off the top, and gave him a little bit of a fresh surface to pull in. It made a difference. So that's something to keep in mind. But second was Jay Hill at 300.54, and Jay was actually first hook of the class. So 2 foot difference from first hook to last hook. So that told me the track was much better to work with. Of course, we're dealing with DOT tire class too. It might have made a difference as well. But Clint Mills was third at 292.96. Fourth was John Weaver. With a truck, it always catches my eye, catches my interest. I really like that Chevy. It's a pretty neat deal there at 291.17. Fourth was Philip Martin at 287.32, and I'm sorry, fifth. And sixth was Chuck Dutter at 251.48. And Chuck, you're making strides, buddy. We had a conversation with him up when we were teching, and I know he's had a couple of bad outings, but it's moving forward, and I'm happy to see that for him. So, and then we had last class of the night was a little 6-pack of street diesel trucks, and Mike Reitz took the win there at 276.55. Street truck. Second was, okay, I'm going to try this name, Samson Poniatowski. I hope I got that right, at 214.83. Wow. And third was Austin Little at 203.79. Fourth, Alan Balserman, 158.89. These are street trucks, guys. And fifth was Tyler Buckenauer at 95.59, and then Logan Hall at 39.44. So that was a pretty neat little deal. They're all local guys, I'm sure, come in there. Mike Reitz, I will say, I've seen him pull a couple times, and it's a pretty stout truck. Obviously, as you can tell by the distances,
stretches the street legal limits, huh?
40. Well, he finished 42 foot in front, but that's okay. I mean, they let him run. So,
yep.
And of course, I went over 2-wheel drives with you there. Krista Wilson taking the win there. Steve Wilson was second, and Trent Best third. So, I'm going to give the event. I'll give it a B plus. I'd love to give it something higher, but once we get the track worked in, I think we'll be okay. I didn't hear, any really bad ramblings too much, other than, what do you do? I mean, but I think once the track gets weathered and gets run on some more and stuff, it's going to be a nice place to go pull. And we definitely want to go back. We definitely want to keep going back there. So far, pretty good people to work with. I dealt with them, with Jerry and a couple of his PR people. For some advertising prior to the event, and they're super nice people to talk to and work with, and we look forward to going back in October. So it'd be exciting to know what classes are going to be there, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I think from a puller standpoint, when you're going to somewhere new, you do kind of have that expectation of no expectations.
Exactly.
You have no idea what the track's going to be like, the pits. You don't really know, so it is hard to complain because you're at a new location.
Yeah.
If they've never pulled there before.
Right. If anybody complained, I didn't hear. Of course, I was busy. I didn't have time to hear myself, but I didn't hear anybody really complain too much. So, I think they understood. It's just another place to get out of the house and go have fun. So, everybody wants a great track to pull on.
One thing they have going for them is everybody just wants to go pulling.
Yeah,
so exactly. People aren't going to complain about stuff they normally would because they actually had a hook.
Yeah, that's very true. But you still, you don't want to tear your stuff up, and most, a good driver is going to drive sensibly and knows that. So, but, I didn't hear any real big. Nobody's throwing anything in their haulers and loading up and leaving, so too bad. So.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. But what do you got coming this weekend, Kendra? Twist my arm. You got an event I can go to this weekend?
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's only like 15 minutes from my house, so it's the best kind of event.
Oh, well, 15 minutes for you is 2 hours for me, so.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because I'm still late getting to the close events, Actually, I'll tell on myself. I laid down to take a quick nap before two-top and woke up, and it was a half an hour till pool time. And I texted Winky, and I was like, gonna be late. I was like, my bad. But he understands. It's okay. No, we have an event coming up at Mont Alto Volunteer Fire Company, right outside of Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. And I think that the schedule is still, we have modified it a little bit. We're going to kind of run it like we did at Hammond's Grove, where any interstate class is welcome. So you don't have the light limiteds listed, but they are going to be there as well as the modifieds. We're hoping to run a dual track, which will help speed up the event. The track at Mont Alto is nice and wide, so we shouldn't have any problems doing that. And just to clarify for those who haven't been there, so what we'll do is we'll run, and don't quote me on this, but we'll be running like the light limited class. So a light limited will go down the track, and then while the next light limited is backing into the sled, we'll have a mini mod going down the other side.
Correct. Yep.
So you won't see them going down the track at the same time, but it does help speed up the show a little bit there.
And the video man thanks you for that.
Yes.
I've done it though. I've had to do it before.
Yeah. But yeah. So it will speed it up a little bit there. Plus it is kind of nice, if you're not necessarily fond of the mini rides or, one of the smoky tractor classes, it does kind of break it up for you. Yeah. So
I think they used to do it at Hammond's Grove. And,
yeah, we did used to do it at Hammond's too. But,
little skinnier situation. Not as wide of a track, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but, it worked.
And this last time it got a little tricky with the way the track was working in and working out, so that's why we didn't do the dual tracks there.
Right.
But yeah, start time is going to be at 5 p.m. Like I said, they're at Mont Alto Fire Company. They have the best country ham sandwiches you'll ever have. At least they normally do. I'm assuming they still will this year, as well as an ice cream truck. So what more could you want?
Ooh.
$10, 12 and under is free. We are also going to attempt to run diesel dirt drags at the end of the night. So $20 to hook not to hook, but to drag race there that evening as well. And that will be after the event. Okay. I do know that there is another event over in Shade Gap with dirt drag racing, but hopefully if they don't win over there, they'll want to come over to us and see if they can do it again.
That's not that far of a drive, so.
No, really. It's really not. Nope. So it's definitely doable. Yeah, Mont Alto is always a really nice track, really nice setup location. Have seating on both sides of the track. Bleacher seating on, I guess I'll call it the fire hall side. And then there are small bleachers, as well as you can bring lawn chairs to sit on the announcer booth side. Real nice long track. I think one year we had a distance of like 375 feet. So you'll see some good pulling action. Trying to think again, open pits. You'll be able to walk around and see the tractors. Always a real nice show there. Okay. And I'm expecting a lot of hooks to come. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, it's going to be my first time there. We're going to load up and come out and have a good time, do some filming, and hopefully I'm sure there'll be plenty of vehicles there. So it's pretty kind of located at just the right spot for the classes that you're going to be running there. So that's going to be nice.
Yep, I was just talking to Kayla Graham of the Graham Pulling Team. Sounds like they're going to make their way down. Good. So there'll be lots of blue tractors for people who like blue tractors. I'm sure Papa Smurf will be there. Vern's coming with all 4 of his. So the Mod Turbo class will definitely be full that night. So
you're going to be in a driver's seat Saturday night.
I will be in the driver's seat.
Okay. Yep. Are you going to be Double O Kendra, or are you going to be the Z Mistress for the night?
I'm not sure which one I'm going to be yet. We haven't had that discussion. Yeah. I will be in the driver's seat of one of the tractors. Okay. Very good. We haven't gone that far into discussion yet. But what I'm most excited about is I have a little, I guess he's 4.5, almost 5 years old, nephew who absolutely loves tractor pulling.
Right.
Anytime he sees me, he wants to watch the videos. He is all about it. And he's going to be there.
Okay.
So
That's cool.
that's what I'm most excited about, is that he's actually going to get to watch me.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Got to start him young, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd be interesting. I'm sure Steve Beckley will probably come up and make a pass too. So I just.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, because that's close for him.
Yeah, never ceases to amaze me. That tractor's. I'd actually asked him. I said, "You put a P pump on this tractor, Steve?" Nope. I was like, "Wow, okay." Not that a P pump tractor can't run strong, believe me, but yeah. I had actually thought he did, and he didn't. It just they done some good work over the winter, and it's on fire, man.
There's been a lot of questions as to whether or not he's got the A pump or the P pump. So.
Yeah. He does not have a P pump on, so it's legal, folks. So
it's mod turbo legal.
It's mod turbo. Okay, it's mod turbo legal. There you go. It's definitely light pro legal. I know that, but it is not a P pump tractor. So. But definitely on a roll and ride the wave while it's high, man. That's for sure.
Yep.
But I'm sure people are turning wrenches to come and catch him. So.
Yep, I know of a few.
Yeah, that's right. So that's going to
I do have, unfortunately, some cancellations to talk about tonight as well.
We was hoping
not something we want to hear.
Yeah, I will.
Go ahead.
Yep, go ahead. Floor's all yours.
So this has not been officially confirmed, but all the rumors are, and they're rumors from fairly reliable sources, so that's why I'm going to go ahead and share it.
Okay.
That the Jefferson County Fair over in Kearneysville, West Virginia has been canceled. Again, it's a county fair. There's not very many of them around anymore. So that was a pool slated for August 21st and the 22nd. That was going to have our light limiteds at it on that Friday night. And then, unfortunately, Rockingham County Fair is running I forget what the word was that they called it, but essentially a modified fair. So they are not going to have any of their interstate pool that night. They're only going to be running antiques and farm stock.
Okay.
So unfortunately, we will not be there. That's always a really fun event. I look forward to it every year. Pretty bummed about that one. It's an awesome fair, huge crowd. So I think they said they're trying to limit to 1,000 people in the grandstands. And I know they usually pull in 3,000 to 4,000. Yeah. So
good luck with that.
That would just be, yeah. And that's just on the grandstand side. Yeah. That's not counting the pullers, and they have pit seating, which probably is another 1,000 people. So I'm not really surprised. I'm upset, but on the good news, I'm pretty good friends with the lady in charge of Luray, Virginia, and they are going to try to put together a pool in, I believe she said September. So we may be adding a pool at the end of the year. She's trying to find a weekend that works with our schedule as well as their schedule.
Late September. Late.
Yeah, late September.
Late September, so I can go.
Yeah. She's really trying. I think right now she's waiting to see if she can get enough track help, and so if she can get everything worked out with that, I think we're going to be pulling in Luray.
Awesome.
So, yeah. So far though, I think everything else in September is still a go. Yeah, Beaver Springs, they're definitely going to have a pool. We're still waiting to see about the October 3rd pool at Harrisonburg, Virginia. That is not associated with the fair. That is a puller putting that, BJ Wilkins on Bull Ride.
Right.
He puts together the October pool. So hopefully we'll be able to get a pool in then. But yeah, other than that, September's looking really good. August is getting fairly slimmed down, but
yeah,
But we'll hopefully be able to go pulling here soon.
Yeah.
Well, I know we're going pulling here soon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And North Carolina State Fair was canceled today. We got notification on Facebook. Yeah, that's a big
and
pull.
Bloomsburg canceled as
and
well.
That's correct. Bloomsburg, the Full Pool Productions event, Rick Fike and the crew. Yep, that fair. I guess it's been canceled. The pool, and so that's another biggie gone.
Yep.
This never ends.
It doesn't. But I was fortunate enough to talk to Dennis Boop today. He's about one of my weekly phone calls there. He likes to call and give me a hard time. He is still full force though with his with his pool and his fair. He said they just got together, I believe it was last night or the night before, to do their final, what they call cleanup, which is essentially getting everything organized and set up. And they're having everything. They're having animals. They're having the carnival rides, the pools. Come one, come all.
Great. Fantastic.
He said they've been receiving a lot of feedback from poolers, from families, from exhibitors, vendors. So he's really excited. He wants me to be spreading the word, so I'm going to do my part for him.
Do you have any kind of some kind of I mean, we'll be back on next Wednesday. Maybe it depends on what's running there. I don't remember what nights. I know East Coast is there next Friday, and I know Interstate has classes in Snyder County. Am I correct or incorrect on Saturday night? I'm not really prepared to.
Yes.
on what's going on there.
Next Saturday on the 8th, on the 8th, they do a co-sanctioned event for Snyder County and Interstate.
Okay.
I believe Wednesday night is only concerts, though. So I don't believe there's any pulling there. Don't hold me to that.
Okay.
I believe all their pulling is...
I know they have...
Monday night.
Right. And Monday, Tuesday, I think they have stock tractors.
And I think
Thursday.
Pools Monday, don't they?
Yes. Thursday also they have. Don't they have a couple interstate classes?
Yep. Thursday is mini rods, the small blocks and the big blocks, and then they run what they call local minis, which those are minis that don't really fit into the interstate rules, but they're local guys, so they want them to come out and have a good time. And then they also run the 4,500 small block class.
Okay.
And talking to Dennis today, it sounds like not all the classes, but some of the classes, they've had a lot of sponsors really step up.
Good.
And they're going to be paying some raised purses, which is nice. Kind of an incentive to come pulling there.
Good.
And then Friday night will be the East Coast event. I'm not sure what classes are there that night.
I'll take a stab at it. Super Pros, modified two-wheel drives, diesel trucks, modified two-wheel drives, modified four-wheel drives, and the limited pro stock semis, or what's usually there. So I would say that's a pretty good guess.
And I think that sounds about right. And then Saturday, like I said, is going to be the co-sanctions, Snyder County as well as Interstate. I'll skip the first two classes, but they'll also have the 77 light limiteds, the 7800 modifieds. They're going to run a 10 open class. So chances are you will see a lot of the Super Pro stocks stick around. And the Snyder County always have a really good turnout for the 10 open class. So you might see some of the bigger modifieds there as well. An 8500 run what you brung truck and tractor class. And then they do an unlimited tractor class. So you'll see a lot of like your big dualies and stuff like that running.
Okay.
Now, something that Dennis did want to say, and I'll repeat this again next week, when they are co-sanctioning, meaning the 8500 mod turbo class and the 10,000 pro farm class. What they're going to do is they're also going to be letting the Snyder County hot stock guys run, but they will still be paying the purse separately. So trying to think of the easiest way to explain this. So you might not be first place on the lineup, But if you are the first pro farm, you will get first place points.
Right.
And that's going to, or first place purse. And that's going to be the same with the Mod Turbo class. So they're going to let.
Yeah, you'll be paid in position that your club that you pull for finishes wherever you finish in your club, so to speak, in the class. Right. Okay.
Yeah, and that's just because the rules are just close enough that it's going to be a good show, but they don't want to have to break it out into two.
Right.
So like the Mod Turbos and the Super Farms and then the Light Pros are all going to pull together, but they're going to pay separately.
Gotcha. Okay. Wow, that's going to be a big class of tractors.
Yes. And I'm glad I don't have to work registration that night.
I'm pretty sure I'm definitely gonna do Friday and Saturday there, and I may try to do Thursday too. I'm not sure yet, but I'm definitely gonna stick around for Saturday, I believe. So.
And I do know they're trying to work out a plan. I know especially Saturday because they run a farm stock pool in the morning, and sometimes that's not over until some of the guys are getting there for the nighttime pool. They are working out a better parking just because they are anticipating such large numbers.
Yeah, I bet.
Okay. So hopefully they have that figured out by next week, and I can kind of report on that and give you guys an idea what's going to happen. Because, of course, at their summer pool, they didn't have all the campers and everything. So they could park the haulers and the rigs all the way back into that parking that we don't have.
Big difference coming
at this pool.
Yeah.
Make all the campers move. Be like, it's time to pull. We got to go.
It's a surprise. That's the first time. This year is the first time. Am I thinking right? Yeah, the first time that I was there when there was no fair, and I'm like, yeah, they do have some elbow room back in there. But I'm telling you what,
that was the first time I'd been to the summer pool as well.
It fills up quick.
What pool we're normally at, but here I can tell you.
It definitely gets full quick. But they have a nice venue up there. I enjoy going up there.
They do. And they always have a birthday cake for me. So I'm always partial to that.
Now we got to buy a gift. Oh, my goodness.
No gifts. But no, I do give Dennis Boop a hard time. And I actually almost got a birthday cake out of him for the June pool, too. He called me and he's like, do we celebrate your birthday at this pool or August? And I'm like, well, it depends. So.
That's funny. Yeah, that's look out, Boopy. I'm coming. I'm definitely coming for 2 nights, and I might be there for Thursday too. So I'm gonna probably look for lodging up there somewhere instead of it'd probably be cheaper than what I need to dump in the motorhome to go up for 3 days. I mean, it's pretty much ready to go, but it's time, it's a time factor right now for me, so getting it ready. But one way or the other, I'm pretty sure definitely a Friday and Saturday it sounds pretty good, especially if they're going to be running farm stock on Saturday mornings. I'll gladly film those as well. So sounds like a plan to me, for sure. Going to be a busy weekend. I thought they said there was pools canceled. No, I'm just kidding. I'm glad. Been very fortunate.
Yep. Did you see Davey's comment there over in the live chat? I told him them French fries were good there.
Awesome. Davey, come on back down. Come on back down this weekend.
Yep.
Absolutely. I've never been to the place, but I trust Kendra's word. I'm sure it's a nice little venue, and I'm looking forward to being there Saturday. So something new. I like new stuff, new venues, and I'm looking forward to that. So definitely, Davey, come on down, man.
Yep.
Bring some buddies.
Yep, I know Mont Alto Grounds will really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's fire company, correct? So.
Yep, it is a fire company.
It's for a great cause. Anytime, these fire companies can make $1 right now, especially. Let's help them out. Like I said, I'm going to get back into this boring speech again. Come out and support us, people. Social distance. And this past Saturday proved to me that you can have a lot of people at your event. Now, I'm not going to say any numbers. I don't know how many there was, but it looked pretty fair to me. And you can do it safely. If you're not comfortable, bring a mask. Put your mask on. You know, come support them. They need your help. So, and these pullers are coming out, and you know they're not really running for a full purse, a normal purse like they would. They're bringing, you know, very expensive equipment out here to put on shows for these promoters and for you, the fans, to come out, get out of the house, bring your family, your young ones, and come have a good time. And they're doing it for all of us. You know, I'm still a fan too. You know, just but it's going to be a good time, and please come out and support the fire company, support Interstate Pullers, support all of us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, a lot of these fire companies are really hurting. All these carnivals and everything like that having to get canceled. That's usually their biggest fundraiser events, and I can't imagine. And of course, with people being off work, their donations have to be down. So anytime you can get out and support a great cause like a fire company, definitely need to, whether it's tractor pull or if they're just setting up. I've seen a couple here around local are just setting up food stands, trying to raise a little bit of money. So definitely got to support local. Absolutely
Got to do it. And you know, we also have a pull August 1st. Well, it's not here. It's in Morgan's Corner, North Carolina. The Big Daddy Motorsports, Dragon Motorsports pull at Morgan's Corner Proving Grounds is August 1st. They will actually pull antiques. It says starting at 6:30 p.m. Must not have many. And then at 7 p.m. the big regular show is scheduled to start. And those classes, they got a pretty nice little lineup of classes there. 8,000. I'm assuming pro stock diesel 4-wheel drive trucks for Dragon. These are Dragon Motorsports classes, by the way. And 6,400 pro stock 4x4. The economy modifieds, I'm sorry, will also be on hand. The 6,200 National Sportsman 4x4 trucks. That is the non-Hemi head 650 cubic inch modified 4-wheel drive trucks that Temple started a couple years ago. Pretty good class. It's wedge motors, not non-Hemi head. And the 6,200 pound small block 4x4 trucks, 6,200 street gas 4x4 trucks, and the 8,050 pound street diesel 4x4. Looks like I seen admission is $15 for adults. I didn't see a breakdown of children, you know, ages or anything, but admission is $15. And once again, that's August 1st, 6:30 p.m. for the antiques, 7 p.m. for the Dragon Motorsports classes at the Morgan's Corner Proving Grounds in Morgan's Corner, North Carolina. So we can't forget Temple. You know, he's still got plenty of pulling going on in Virginia, and that sounds like that's going to be a nice pull. And I'm sure Wild Willie, as I like to call him, will cover that event for us. So we'll be expecting to see some things on Facebook soon from him as well. So from that event,
that's a lot of trucks.
Oh yeah, that's truck heaven down there, man. That's
if you like trucks, that's definitely the place to be.
You betcha. Yeah, it's I'm sure, you know, Big Daddy. I've been to several of his pulls over the years down in you know, at Williamston, North Carolina. I've never been to none of his outdoor pulls, but you know, his indoor pulls have always been, you know, pretty good. You know, they're pretty good events. And one day I might get to sneak back down there and see the guys, but it's just time, you know. Like I say, aging parents, and this has got to get done, that's got to get done, and it's hard to get away to all of them anymore. But right now, I'm going every Friday and Saturday I can. I'm going wherever I can go. So you got to, because with a shortened schedule, it's you got to go. So, but there's plenty going on. Just come out and support us. And while I got a second here, I forgot to say this earlier. You know, we appreciate everybody watching us. You know, Kendra and I, we're gonna continue to keep this thing going. You know, bring stuff to you. Somebody's got a birdie. It must be Kendra. Or some whistling. Excuse me, but hi, Chris Smith. How are you? And what was I saying? Please like, subscribe, and share the page. Thumbs up. You know, we really appreciate it. And I'm thinking more towards the winter when we do, in fact, not pool anymore. Then we're gonna start bringing on some pullers, and we're gonna nail them to the wall with a bunch of questions. I'm just kidding. Come on here and have a good time for an hour, hour and a half, whatever it takes to cover, having a puller on here. And Kevin Landis mentioned today, I was on the phone with him for a little while, and he's itching to come on here. So, he'll be a good one to talk about some older times in pulling and stuff too, with his father and his grandfather, and of course current day. They still pull, so with a 2-wheel drive, and he's mentioned he would gladly come on. So he's going to be one we're going to have on. I'm sure we'll get Normie. We'll definitely have a good time with Normie on here. We'll get Brandy on here. And there's hundreds, It's not just East Coast or interstate, we got people in New York and across the country, down south. So I know they'll come on. You don't have to come on with a camera. We can get you on with a telephone. I'm still working on that, by the way, to get the video and just audio to work together. But, it's not like you have to sit in front of your little camera. You can just talk to us on the telephone, too. So.
Well, and speaking of pullers, we like to give a hard time. It is Clayton Sweeney's birthday, so we should probably give him a little shout out. Oh, that's right.
Yes, it is. Happy birthday there, Sweetie. I mean, Clayton Sweeney. So, and I have to say, he's got them new stickers on that tractor looking pretty sharp, too. So
he does? Yeah.
Yep. He stuck them on there, finally. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. He might be watching. I don't know. I know. I'll get that message. Did you guys do a show? Are you guys going to do a show or whatever,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, every Wednesday, buddy. So.
Yeah, I was talking to him today, and I said, got to go pulling on your birthday weekend, and he's like, no, but we'll be at Union County. So I think he's riding up with Howard Meredith. So
okay, great, good.
We'll get to see all them guys.
Yeah, that's cool. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Well, next weekend. I'm looking forward to this weekend too. So.
Yeah,
a lot of good pulling coming up. This was one of my favorite weeks of pulling, because tonight I wouldn't have been doing a show. I'd have been in Lebanon, Pennsylvania, with East Coast.
Oh yeah.
And of course we'd have been off Thursday, which would have been a rain date. But we actually do pull antique tractors at my home fair here, just south of here, by 20 minutes, 15 minutes actually, in Bel Air, Maryland. Pulls Thursday antiques, and then Friday and Saturday we actually went back to 2 days of pulling scheduled this year, but of course COVID took care of all that for us. But that was our big one of my favorite weeks of pulling is right now, starting tonight, and didn't happen, so we'll make up for it though.
Say Lebanon, that's where we got that really good peach sundae last year.
You notice how
I really don't go pulling for the pulls, I go for the food.
Oh yeah, they got some good food over there. Yeah, we always walk over. Well, they used to feed us there, but they didn't do that last year. I think somebody passed away or something, which I won't get into that. But somebody did pass away, and they didn't have a feed last year, so we ended up going over and sitting down and eating. And it don't matter where you go over there; it's all good food. There's plenty of good food to eat. Ice cream all over the place over there. And but I'm just gonna say something else I done forgot, but it was always a good time over there for sure. But I don't know. We're at 59 minutes. 59. I can't remember. I was gonna say something, but I don't remember what it was. It wasn't a lie. It was truth. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, always fun. But I miss. We always had a big feed at Bel Air. Last couple of years, it always stormed. Okay, it seemed like we could never get a 2-day pull in at Bel Air. One night or the other was an absolute flood out. Basically, I mean, it just bad storms. Heck, one year we all but had a tornado there, and it's just insane. Hailstorms, you name it, we've had it at Bel Air. But COVID-19, man, it's just a blind enemy,
Yep, definitely.
Sure has ruined stuff, and I can say that they're starting to show up back in the hospital that Cindy works at again in this area. Nothing big, nothing scary, but patients are coming back in with it again. So, unfortunately, I suspect here soon things are going to get a little tight again. But hopefully not. Hopefully it's just a quick little blitz and it'll be over with. I don't want anybody to get sick. But it's happening again. I mean, at a low rate, but it is happening again. So, what's the food tip from Mont Alto? Davey B wants to know.
Yep, country ham sandwich and the Antietam Dairy ice cream truck for dessert.
There you go. Sounds like a winner to me.
Yeah, I'm hoping they still have their country ham sandwiches this year.
Did you just post that?
I did.
Before or after I asked, right?
No, it was before. I hit enter and then you read it. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't get old, people.
It's a little delayed, but
yeah, it has to be because I didn't see it there. That's fine, or I wouldn't have asked. So
okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds good, man. There's a lot of pulling going on. I can't think of any other cancellations. I don't want to think of any others. I mean, we got some other stuff coming up. There's, I believe, Listy, Pennsylvania has. Is it a 2-day? I think they have a 2-day next weekend. I'm not sure of all the classes. They got a bunch scheduled.
I was gonna say, yeah, I haven't seen anything official yet, but
yeah,
hopefully we'll have that definitely by next week. I would assume.
Yeah, we got that coming up, and of course, Dennis Boop and the crew. That's going to be a big show up there all week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't get there all week, but yeah, I'm definitely shooting for Friday and Saturday both, and then I might try to sneak a. I'll see if I can sweet talk my way into a Thursday night show there too. Here at home, we'll see. But that sounds good. Once again, I'll go over it again for you. Big Daddy Motorsports and Dragon Motorsports at Morgan's Corner Proving Grounds, Morgan's Corner, North Carolina, on August the 1st. Antique tractors at 6:30 p.m. Dragon classes are slated to start at 7 p.m. And again, that's the 8,000 Pro Stock Diesel 4x4, 6,400 Pro Stock 4x4. The Econo mods is like economy modified tractors. The 6,200 National Sportsman 4x4, 62 Small Block 4x4, 62 Street Gas 4x4, and the 8050 Street Diesel 4x4. And it's $15 for adults. I'm not sure if there's an age cutoff for kids or not. I don't know, but I do know it listed it as $15. So keep that one in mind too. If you're down south of us, go on down and support them as well. There's plenty to go do this weekend. Take the family out and go to a pool. So that's all I have. If you have anything else, or
no, I think that's it.
Okay.
Just Mont Alto this week, and then looking, like you said, forward to West End Fair. So
okay, that little turbo big brain was hoping that the diesel smoke would kill the COVID. I agree. Yeah,
I think everybody was.
Trust me, even the alcohol tractors and trucks could take care of that for us too, probably.
Sure, yeah.
But
definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess we'll have to take some side bets to see which tractor you're going to be driving. I'm thinking it's going to be Double O Kendra, or whatever you like to call that.
Double OK.
Double OK. There you go. Double OK.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking that's pretty close for. I don't know if Yankee's going to give up the seat on the seat mistress or not. So.
I told him he needs to buy some more farming ground, then we won't have to fight over it.
There you go. Yeah, or
he just keeps farming.
There you go. That, or just twist Vern's arm a little harder and get another tractor built. So, buy Johnny Law back. Buy Johnny Law back. You might as well have a green tractor in there somewhere, right?
Yeah, I would love to have Johnny Law back, but
I bet.
I don't know if you and I have discussed this. It's actually in the process of becoming a light limited.
Yeah, I think the night I had you on the first time we were discussing it.
Oh, yep. I'll actually have to shoot him a message and see how it's going. I don't think I've talked to him in a couple months, 6 months or so.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see that back out.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. I'm thinking about. Well, I got. Gosh, we did it for 10 years. We did a Forester Nationals thing for 10 years. Well, not we, but the Forester family did. And I'm going to slowly start taking segments. I don't know how long, but I'm going to start at the very first year they had it and do segments and start putting them on the YouTube channel as well as the Forester Nationals.
That would be nice.
And you're going to see a lot of old iron. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnny Law is one of them. Of course, back when Matt Doherty had his international, and on and on. There's several older vehicles in there, and even I remember going back in there for Belton Sensenig a while back. Had some footage of Lamar Burkholder when he first started getting his Dodge Diesel four-wheel drive pulling going. It was actually there, and as well as some other stuff. So yeah.
Say there has got to be a lot of like debuts and new drivers and all that kind of stuff at Forester National.
I was one of them. We'll just leave it at that. So I actually made it past there too. So.
Well, then you're definitely going to have to get it out.
Yeah. I'll just make sure I block Randy Devon that night so he can't get on here. Yeah. But that was a pretty cool deal. It was interesting. It just I couldn't reach nothing. I didn't have the seat belt or the lap belts on because I just, couldn't reach nothing. Long arms there, but it was okay.
Say, Randy's a tall guy. So.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yeah. Brakes were easy to get to. Everything else was 10 miles in front of me. So I couldn't sit back in the seat comfortably reach anything. So I had to lean forward, and you couldn't do that with, too well with belts on.
Yeah.
But boy, I tell you what, getting hit with a sled without them on, wow. That's a hard hit.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And I still thank Randy to this day for that. That was a pretty cool deal. He didn't have to do that. He'd already had 2 runs put on the tractor during the day, and it was a 2-charger super stock back then still. So
yeah.
But to put 3 on that day was pretty cool. I got to put that. That was a lot of fun. It really was. But, okay, we won't bore you with any more JR stories. So I guess if that's it, again, thanks for tuning in. Share it around, guys. We want to see 100 or 200 people in here. They can come in on the chat and ask any question they want, and we'll try to get an answer for you. It's clean, keep the language clean and stuff. But we're here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. or between 8 and 8:05. It depends. Sometimes Kendra's late, so I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But okay, it's me. But But anyway, we'll be back next Wednesday. We got a lot to talk about. We got a nice event coming up, and we got plenty to talk about for pulling next week from Laurelton, Listy, and I'm sure there's others. And if you got a pull, private message me on Facebook or send me an email or whatever, even Kendra, and we'll get it on here for you. Just give us all we need to know is the date, where it's at, and admission, and classes you're going to run, and anything else you want thrown in there, we'll do it. Yeah, I understand it's nice to list the sponsors, but sometimes that can get a little monotonous, so to speak. So, but just at least get your pool out here and get it to us, and we'll get it on here for you, and we'll try to get some butts in the stands for you. So, give us thumbs up, and we'll see you next Wednesday. We appreciate you tuning in. You all good, Kendra? Anything else you want to add, or?
Nope. I think I about covered everything I needed to.
Okay. And I'll be right back with you here in a minute or so. And the rest of you, thanks for tuning in. Thumbs up, guys. Don't forget that thumbs up. We appreciate it. Thank you.